In the beginning, the earth was a void, a canvas waiting for divine artistry. The story begins with the moment of creation, where God spoke the universe into existence. The skies shimmered with stars, the seas roared with life, and the mountains stood as silent witnesses to the grand design. In this newfound world, God formed Adam and Eve, shaping them in His image. This act was not merely physical, it imbued them with purpose, a reflection of the Creator Himself. The Garden of Eden was their dwelling, a place of unmatched beauty, where rivers flowed with crystal clear water, and every creature lived in harmony. Adam and Eve were the stewards of this paradise, tasked with caring for creation while embodying the unity of all humanity. From the start, the message was clear. All humans, regardless of their later divisions, came from this singular origin. This was the foundation for the unity and dignity of mankind. Adam and Eve's days in Eden were filled with joy and discovery. Each moment brought them closer to the wonders of creation. The animals recognized their dominion, gathering peacefully under their watch. Yet, amidst the abundance, a single command was given: to refrain from eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge. This command symbolized trust and obedience, foundational elements of their relationship with God. When the serpent sowed doubt, enticing them to disobey, their choice reverberated across time. Their eyes opened to both good and evil, a duality that would shape the human condition forever. The garden's gates closed behind them as they stepped into a world of toil and hardship, but they carried with them God's promise of redemption, a thread of hope woven into the fabric of humanity. Adam and Eve's exile marked the beginning of humanity's journey through a world fraught with challenges yet filled with potential. They began to till the earth and raise their family, becoming the ancestors of all mankind. Over time, generations grew, bringing new knowledge and skills to the forefront, but also carrying the weight of sin. Violence and discord marred the beauty of creation, with the story of Cain and Abel exemplifying humanity's capacity for both love and cruelty. God, however, remained steadfast in His commitment to guide humanity. Through prophets and revelations, He called on the descendants of Adam and Eve to turn their hearts back to Him. This period is a testament to divine patience and mercy, where the Creator's hope for humanity endured even in the face of growing wickedness. As humanity expanded across the earth, their actions grieved the Creator. The world had become consumed by corruption, prompting God to cleanse the earth through a great flood. Noah, a righteous man in a sea of wickedness, was chosen to preserve life. God instructed him to build an ark, a colossal vessel capable of carrying his family and pairs of every living creature. The floodwaters came as a torrent, erasing the corruption of the old world. Noah and his family, sheltered within the ark, bore witness to the divine reset. As the waters receded, a rainbow stretched across the sky, symbolizing God's promise never to destroy the earth in such a manner again. This covenant laid the foundation for a renewed relationship between God and humanity. Emerging from the ark, Noah and his family stood on a transformed earth. They built an altar to thank God, and from their lineage, the nations of the world began to grow. Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, became the patriarchs of humanity's diverse branches. Each son's descendants settled in different regions, adapting to their environments and laying the cultural foundations for future civilizations. This dispersion was a key moment in God's plan, reflecting His desire for humanity to populate and steward the earth. Shem's descendants laid the groundwork for spiritual and philosophical traditions, while Ham's lineage influenced the vibrant cultures of Africa and parts of the Middle East. Japheth's descendants journeyed into Europe and Asia, becoming the forebears of the Western world. As the sons of Noah multiplied, humanity began to form distinct identities. This period saw the rise of communities and the beginnings of organized societies. Yet, amid this growth, humanity's pride began to resurface. The story of the Tower of Babel is a vivid reminder of mankind's inclination to challenge divine authority. In their unity, The people sought to build a tower that would reach the heavens, aiming to make a name for themselves and avoid being scattered. God, in his wisdom, intervened. By confounding their language, he scattered them across the earth, ensuring that his command to fill the earth would be fulfilled. This event not only explained the origins of linguistic diversity, but also underscored the importance of humility and obedience. Scattered and speaking different tongues, humanity spread far and wide. This dispersion fostered incredible diversity, with distinct cultures, traditions, and languages emerging over time. The descendants of Japheth ventured into the vast and varied landscapes of Europe, where their physical traits adapted to the colder, less sunlit climates. Shem's lineage stayed closer to the Middle East, shaping the early centers of spiritual thought. Ham's descendants thrived in Africa, where the environment influenced their physical and cultural characteristics. This period of dispersion was not random, but part of God's providential design, allowing humanity to develop unique identities while remaining connected by their shared origin. In Europe, Japheth's descendants began to lay the foundations for what would become some of the most influential civilizations in history. As these groups settled into the region, they began to innovate and adapt. From the ancient nomadic tribes to the early settlers of Greece and Rome, the seeds of philosophy, democracy, and artistic expression were planted. This period was marked by exploration, the spread of ideas, and the formation of early governance systems. While the physical landscapes shaped their ways of life, the divine spark within them drove their desire to create and explore. God's hand was evident in their progress, guiding their endeavors to bring about new advancements in knowledge and culture. The descendants of Ham settled in Africa and parts of the Middle East, where they cultivated some of the most remarkable early civilizations. They developed complex systems of governance, trade, and artistry, and their cultures flourished in the fertile lands along great rivers like the Nile. The construction of monumental structures, such as pyramids and temples, reflected their ingenuity and deep spiritual connection. These societies, rich in tradition and resilience, left an indelible mark on human history. The diversity among Ham's descendants also showcased the adaptability of humanity as they thrived in varied environments. Their contributions would later influence other regions through trade and cultural exchange, spreading their legacy far beyond their homeland. Shem's descendants established roots in the Middle East, where they cultivated a rich legacy of wisdom and spiritual depth. This lineage is closely tied to the formation of the Israelite nation, whose covenant with God became a cornerstone of religious thought. From this region emerged profound philosophical and theological ideas, shaping the spiritual framework of countless generations. Shem's descendants also contributed to early advances in astronomy, mathematics, and literature, leaving a lasting impact on human understanding of the cosmos and the divine. This period was a time of profound reflection and growth, with Shem's lineage playing a pivotal role in the intellectual and spiritual evolution of humanity. As humanity spread further, Japheth's descendants began to interact with other lineages through trade and alliances. The Greeks, often associated with Japheth's lineage, became known for their contributions to philosophy, governance, and art. Cities like Athens and Sparta emerged as hubs of learning and culture, influencing the development of Western civilization. The Romans, building on Greek foundations, expanded these ideas and established a vast empire. Their roads and infrastructure connected distant lands, enabling cultural exchanges and spreading innovations. This era highlights the intricate interplay of human ingenuity and divine guidance, as Japheth's descendants played a key role in shaping the course of history. The story of the Tower of Babel serves as a poignant reminder of humanity's shared history and the divine hand that guides it. After their dispersion, people began to form unique cultural identities while remaining connected by their common ancestry. This diversity was not a division, but a manifestation of God's creativity. Each language and tradition carried a piece of divine wisdom, enriching the human experience. The scattering of nations ensured that humanity would fulfill God's command to fill the earth, creating a tapestry of cultures that reflected his glory. Despite their differences, all nations bore the mark of their creator, reminding them of their shared origin and purpose. Over time, migration and adaptation gave rise to profound physical and cultural diversity among humans. Japheth's descendants in Europe developed lighter skin tones, an adaptation to the lower levels of sunlight in their environment. Ham's lineage thrived in regions with intense sunlight, developing darker skin to protect against UV radiation. These adaptations were not random, but part of God's providential plan, allowing humanity to thrive in diverse climates. This process of natural selection demonstrated God's foresight in equipping humanity for survival and flourishing in every corner of the earth. Physical differences became a testament to the intricate design of creation, showcasing the unity within diversity. As Japheth's descendants ventured deeper into Europe, they brought with them innovations and traditions that would shape the continent's future. They established settlements, developed tools, and began the early cultivation of agriculture. These communities grew into thriving cultures, forming the roots of modern European nations. Over generations, their advancements in metallurgy, architecture, and governance became hallmarks of their legacy. This period of growth was a reflection of their resilience and ingenuity, as well as the divine spark that inspired their progress. The descendants of Shem and Ham also played critical roles in the development of trade and cultural exchange. Along the Nile and the Fertile Crescent, cities became centers of commerce and learning. These regions were marked by their architectural marvels, such as ziggurats and temples, which stood as symbols of their devotion and creativity. Through trade routes, goods, ideas, and spiritual beliefs flowed between continents, fostering connections among diverse peoples. This period highlights the interconnectedness of humanity and the divine hand, guiding their endeavors toward unity and understanding. Japheth's descendants in Europe reached new heights during the migration period. Tribes such as the Goths, Vandals, and Huns moved across the continent, reshaping its cultural and political landscape. These migrations led to the decline of the Western Roman Empire and the formation of new kingdoms. As these tribes settled, they adopted elements of Roman and Greek culture while introducing their unique traditions. This period was tumultuous yet transformative, marking the emergence of medieval Europe and its diverse tapestry of cultures. God's providence could be seen in the resilience and creativity of these people as they adapted to changing times. In the Middle East, Shem's descendants continued to shape spiritual traditions that would influence the world. The Israelites, descendants of Abraham, played a central role in this narrative. Their covenant with God and the laws given to Moses established a framework of justice and morality. Despite periods of exile and suffering, they held on to their faith, becoming a beacon of hope for generations. The prophets of Israel called the people back to righteousness, reminding them of God's plan for all nations to live in harmony. This spiritual heritage became the foundation for major world religions, uniting people across cultures. Ham's descendants thrived in the rich lands of Africa, building powerful kingdoms and cultural landmarks. The ancient Egyptians are perhaps the most well-known among them, with their advancements in medicine, mathematics, and engineering. The Great Pyramids stood as symbols of their ingenuity and devotion. Further south, the Kingdom of Kush and other African civilizations flourished, blending trade, art, and governance. Ham's lineage reflected the creativity and resilience of humanity, contributing to the global story through their innovations and cultural legacy. The descendants of Japheth continued to expand their influence, particularly through the rise of classical Greece. Greek philosophers such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle explored profound questions about existence, ethics, and governance. Their ideas laid the foundation for Western thought and inspired countless generations. Meanwhile, the Greeks' artistic achievements and their emphasis on democracy transformed how people viewed the world and their place in it. This flourishing of culture and intellect was a testament to the divine spark that guided their pursuits, blending human creativity with God's providence. Following the Greeks, the Romans rose to prominence, building one of the greatest empires in history. Their advancements in law, architecture, and engineering connected vast territories, fostering unity among diverse peoples. Roman roads, aqueducts, and cities became symbols of their ingenuity. While their empire eventually fell, their cultural and technological legacy endured, influencing the medieval and modern worlds. Japheth's descendants, through Rome, exemplified how human ambition and divine guidance could create civilizations that shaped history. The story of the Tower of Babel reminds us of humanity's shared origin and the divine intervention that created linguistic diversity. This diversity became a source of cultural richness, enabling different groups to develop their unique identities. However, it also brought challenges in communication and unity. Over time, humanity learned to bridge these divides through trade, diplomacy, and shared values. The dispersion at Babel ultimately fulfilled God's plan for humanity to populate the earth, creating a world filled with vibrant cultures and traditions. The rise of Christianity brought new unity to Japheth's descendants in Europe. The teachings of Christ spread across the continent, transforming cultures and societies. Christianity's emphasis on love, compassion, and salvation resonated deeply, creating a shared spiritual foundation for diverse peoples. The Church became a unifying force, preserving knowledge and fostering connections among nations. This period also saw the blending of Christian values with existing traditions, creating a unique cultural synthesis that shaped medieval Europe. As Shem's descendants continued to influence the spiritual landscape, the Middle East became a crossroads of faith and knowledge. Trade routes like the Silk Road connected the region to distant lands, enabling the exchange of goods, ideas, and beliefs. Scholars in this region advanced knowledge in fields such as astronomy, medicine, and philosophy, leaving an indelible mark on human progress. The descendants of Shem played a central role in fostering a world where learning and spirituality went hand in hand, guided by divine inspiration. The story concludes with a vision of unity among all nations. Revelation 7:9 describes a time when people of every tribe, language, and culture stand together in worship before God's throne. This image reflects the ultimate fulfillment of God's plan, a world where diversity is celebrated as a testament to His creativity and love. Despite the divisions and struggles of history, humanity's shared origin and purpose remain clear. This vision calls for compassion, understanding, and unity, reminding us that we are all part of God's grand design.